Good evening. This is Emma from Balance Between, and we're just going to do a quick energy check here just to see if it's okay to be doing a collective reading, or it could be more of someone's personal reading from a ghost that comes through. So let's begin, shall we? And yes, you can't see my other hand in the frame. Just watch let's see if I can. I can't. So this is me, and we're doing an energy check, and you're just gonna have to watch the ball. And the next time, I'll put it up a little higher so that you can see, okay? Thanks for watching. Is it all right to do a collective reading this evening? Yes, wonderful. Thank you very much, spirits. I really appreciate your energy, and we will begin. So there is someone here with me. I can feel them. I just don't need to know your name. If your name pops up, then, I'll speak it. If not, the message will just come through. Like, in the spirit world, there isn't names. Like, some people will hold on to names. Like, sometimes when people die, and they die at a certain time in their life, whatever energy that they've died in is what they're buried in. I'll give you an example. I was volunteering for the Riding for the Disabled in Victoria, and I was doing volunteering for Victoria Police Department, and you needed to have, a background check of like working with vulnerable people, and I didn't have that at that time when I first moved to BC. And I thought, Vic PD, like, they stood for something. They looked after children, right? They had programs that police officers were in their schools, right? Being a presence, being an awesome presence, being a leader, right? Being someone that they could possibly recruit, or that person says, you know what, I want to become a police officer, because they're doing it for the right reasons and not the wrong ones, right? And then when I saw that with Vic PD, I thought, man, that's awesome. And so, and they also had another police presence in the old folks' home, because there's so many old folks that are being robbed by the people that are looking after them. And so if there's a police presence, sometimes you can't trust people. If an old person has a lot of money, and then their children thinking that they're putting them in a home, and then all of a sudden something happens, food poisoning, someone dies, someone slips with wrong drugs, who do you know is employing these people to look after, when your parents are in homes, right? Right? Like, think about it. And when I understood what the Vic PD was trying to like present, I'm like, oh my God, yes. Like, young and elderly need to be protected, but along the way, in the middle, you need to have some really good solid ones. You need sensitive ones in the beginning and in the end, and in the middle to control. You have to have level-headed ones, right? Totally, that gets the whole picture, not just one side, and certainly doesn't have an ego on them. That card stays. Okay. So back to my story. It's hopefully be quick. If I can finish, I hope I can. Let's concentrate, shall we? So they're asking me to not share anymore, right? sometimes, well, you like personal experiences and the messages that come through are through for not for me, but for you. And sometimes they use my experiences. So, like, if someone's thinking to become a police officer, they're saying to go and do it, right? But also, like, certain police presence, like, should be seen as well, right? I was touching my nose. I was like, oh God, my nose is running. I was like, that's what, like, I usually go outside and I look at the stars at night, and it's so beautiful, and it recharges the energy before you go to sleep. It's like your peaceful time, right? You can release all of the energy from the day with the rest of the day. And then you, if you're angry, you're like, blah, 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 you talk to yourself to get it all out, and you release it to the energy, to the world. And then I could close that. I don't like it peeking through. I get a window that's opening up. The energy is like, yes, talk more. Tell me your secrets. I'll be right back. You know, I wasn't quite sure what the message was, because I had to close the curtain. So my apologies. Whenever I stopped at that was a message. I know I was talking about police forces, and I was telling you an example, but I don't know what I was talking about before in previous hand. So you know what? It's just gonna have to stay it as that. And I know that's a bummer, but that is a certain message. But we're gonna flip this card over and just continue. And if it comes back, then it comes back. And if you only stay for that message, then no problem. You don't have to listen to the other messages coming through. So it's like, think of my videos like a book, okay? You eventually have to turn the page, right? So you read the story and then you flip it. You read the story, you go to the next. Or it continues and then it stops, and then you flip a page and it's a new story. That's what my messages are. That's like I'm a book. Basically a book that you're reading someone's story. And then I'm that conduit, that medium from people that are from divine or the dead or the past or wherever you like to think. Even today, those messages can be linked up, right? I know people are like, oh my God, isn't that mind reading? And I'm like, if I say yes, I'm going to get in trouble. If I say no, I'm going to get in trouble. So I think I'll just stay in the middle and say neutral. And I'm like, I don't know. What do you think? Right? We'll just bounce that question right back. So let's see this. Oh, wow. Woman holding a coin. Now, you saw me shuffle, right? I was like shuffling that fucking thing. And then that one just came out somehow. I was like, well, if you do the work and you put your work in and you apply yourself and you expose yourself for people to watch, right? Woman holding a coin. It's like you putting in your work, you're getting contracts, you're getting money, you get the luck on your side, you get the black cat and the royal purple. The royal purple is royal, right? Royalty with my blue ring over there. I haven't yet cleaned. I took the day off. It was beautiful today. I have a couple videos out of me outside. Like literally today, February 1st was great. It was absolutely stunning out here. It felt like 15 degrees for February 1st. I'm like, wow, this is a first. For the first. That was a really nice day, right? Today was a really nice day. Except, in the morning we had a little hiccup, but we're not going to talk about that. It's not about me, it's about you, or is it? Right? These things the messages that come through, right, are linked to personal experiences that everyone has every single day. And that may not, if you're listening to it, you may not say, well, that didn't happen to me. And I'm like, yeah. but it happened to someone else in that exact moment, exact time that you're listening to it or hearing about it. You're like, hey, that happened to me today. This some crazy woman just fucking, flipped her fucking lid, right? She had a big barking dog trying to bite my son. I was like, what the fuck would you do? Allow it to proceed to threaten us? I was like, what type of energy is that? That she needs to train a dog to bite little children. Oh my God. Because the dog didn't come to me if it was threatened by size, right? And of course, it's fucking worse. It's a border collie, right? Those are the most vicious fucking dogs there. And I volunteered at the Riding for the Disabled VRDA, right? And Victoria Riding for the Disabled. I used to ride the horses. I used to train them. I used to exercise them. And I used to help out in the program because of my extensive horse, and I used to horse background, right? So, I did the work. Wanted to become a police officer. And they all, after my horse accident, that was it, right? I fell off an 18-hand horse on concrete. So that's 8 feet off. In a Western Saddle, I got on, it was weird little wobble thing, fucking hit my tailbone, boom. And I'm like, wow. And the doctors are stunned. They're like, whoa, how the fuck are you walking? You should be paralyzed. It's like you're like a living angel. It's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, yeah. Hidden in plain sight, right? Until you actually realize and notice, right? Totally. And then it's too late because the way that you treated that person, you have no take back. So you can't take that energy back. So how do you move upon someone, right? What does your energy have to say? How do you give yourself away? How are you moving? Stealthily, or are you walking like you're giving yourself away? Correct. Just want to say that. There's lots of mistakes, right, that I'm seeing in how people protect someone of power. Just to let you know, sometimes it's not about having the book smarts. It's actually being with the all those people that went to school and didn't see and didn't work the civilian jobs and didn't put their feet on the ground, boots on the ground. If you're not doing that, you're not understanding your workers. They didn't want me to get that out. You're not understanding where any of this energy comes from. You're only over here, saying, well, you need to pass this certain test to get in. And I'm like, no, the real test is how, not inside a fucking, building doing a fucking stupid test. All the while they're monitoring you and you're like, fuck, I don't know. It's like, I give up. This is a stupid motherfucking test. It's like the real test is being out on the streets and seeing how you handle people. What type of character are you? That's the real test. Not some fucking stupid exam that you have to take inside a building where you're not dealing with it every day. It's like, okay, here's the real fucking test. Let's test you in front of a group of people that are fucking scary on the street. How are you going to handle these people? And what type of energy are you giving off? Right? That's the real test that all these police forces should be doing for all these new recruits coming in. If you don't got what it's take on the fucking street to talk to the people on the ground, boots on the ground, then you have you shouldn't be a police officer. Just because you've now got a weapon and an attitude doesn't mean you're going to get yourself killed, or worse, you're going to run away. You're going to be a fucking coward. You're not going to help your fellow man because those people scare you and you'd rather shoot them or let your partner die. So you know what? Would you rather not have a level-headed type of individual that is intelligent by looking at something and sees a different way, and have the balance of like you can actually talk to people because you've been working on the ground with all these people, but you're also very balanced and level-headed. So if you have to correct some stupid person on the ground walking your stupid dog, and you need to fucking tap that dog in the shoulder because the owner's too fucking scared to grab her own dog because she's been bitten before, right? Totally, man. And then you give it a little fucking tap because you're like, that's what happens. I'm like, there you go. That means that you failed as a fucking dog owner of not training your aggressive border collie. And I'm protecting my son. I'm turning around and I'm seeing like dog nipping behavior. Because he's a border collie, he needs work to do. He shouldn't be in town. Like, I see these people, it's like they should be fucking educated. You should have cops walking down there giving people, dog citations for dogs biting other people, and especially kids. That's just as bad as like you being a pedophile, right? Doesn't matter if you're family or not. You have no right to be doing that. So got violated today and then, kicked a fucking dog in the shoulder, say, hey, and then the owner's like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, yeah, I can. So you know what? I'm gonna fucking protect my son. My son's holding my hand tightly. So you know what? Fuck you. And then there's another woman coming at the top of the hill. And she heard the whole thing, and I'm like, listen, it's a shared path. We shouldn't feel threatened by someone and their fucking dogs being off leash. Yeah, it's an off leash park, so maybe actually that should just be no off leash because it's a shared park and no one wants to be threatened. So Edmonton, if you're fucking listening, right, or CIA or FBI or anything like that, yeah, all of these events are true, right? Totally. This is what happened today. This is my life. I go out with my son and I enjoy the day. And then I have some random fucking lady, taking up the whole fucking path. And she's got fucking dogs barking, no control whatsoever. And I'm like, okay, excuse me. Like, the guy moves over. The girls are just blocking the fucking path. And you got a fucking border collie coming. And then you're like, what the fuck? I'm like, excuse me, are you gonna like take up the whole path here? Like, move over. Like, why am I having to stop because you're having a conversation? Move that conversation off the fucking out of the way. Be respectful. This is a shared path. We shouldn't have to stop for you to control your fucking dog. And of course they can't. And then as I'm walking literally through them. The dog's having a conniption fit. The owners are like trying to control the dog. Oh, he's just a barker. Yeah, right. You've trained that dog to do that. And I fucking volunteered at the Victoria SPCA for 2.5 fucking years. And I trained dangerous dogs, bitch. I seen that. I know what it looks like. I fucking know what that looks like. And that is a behavior you trained into the dog. I've trained German Shepherds. I've trained them all, right? I remember, here's another fucking story for you. I trained Sammy that came in. And Sammy was like a special dog. Like, he came up from the Quesnel SPCA or down from it, wherever you'd like to see it as. And he was wild. Like, you had to have like 2 muzzles on and 2 people walking with 2 poles, and he was uncontrollable. And that was like, holy shit, they took on the dangerous dogs. And you know what, my dog Lizzie was like that too. She was deemed dangerous by the SPCA, and I took her on. The reason why she was deemed dangerous is that they took her puppies away from her way too soon. And she went fucking nuts. Like, loco nuts. Like, oh my God. She was the sweetest dog in the beginning because she still had her puppies. And then one day when I took her out for a walk just to go pee and whatnot, they took her puppies. And so when I brought her back in, I wasn't thinking anything of it. They're like, oh, just put her in the gym, and I'm like, okay. And then I left, wasn't thinking anything of it. And then I'm sure that it had to be a weird exchange. I don't know what happened. And then the next day she was like, I'm like, where's her puppies? It's like they're way too early. They were like 3 weeks. They were not even ready to go. Yeah. And, she was vicious. And then I trained her to be the sweetest fucking dog inside. Everyone's like, what? She was deemed dangerous? Like, she was deemed dangerous. So if I'm taking a dog from like deemed dangerous attitude to become the sweetest fucking dog that you would have never thought was like that mentally distraught from such a trauma of losing her puppies at a way too soon, right? Yeah. Anyways, I know deemed dangerous dogs. And that dog that I happened to bump into today was exactly that. Right? And now I have my son to worry about. He's scared of dogs and all dogs. And I think, if people can feel that and their dogs are warning them that they feel uncomfortable of someone's energy walking through the woods, enjoying the day with their son, and you're like, oh, this is such a nice day. It was beautiful. No clouds in the sky. It was warm. It was wonderful. And I thought it would be a nice day for a walk. The birds are out. People feel, I don't know. But, we saw them when we first arrived at the steps to go down into our little walk, right? And I'm like, hey, let's give them time, They just got down there. The dogs are rummaging around and being dogs. I was like, so we gave them lots of time, right? And then we started our walk after a little while. And I don't know how we met up with him again, but, I guess we were walking too fast, enjoying it, like enjoying the walk, and then being bothered by that. I'm like, really? And then I'm like, literally, like, fuck you. Like, you can't even control your dog, and then you blame the person trying to walk through you blocking the path, and you're not moving out of the way. It's like a courteous fucking thing to do would be move your conversation out of the way when you see people. Like, just like ambulance drivers, firefighters, police officers. I'm like, I would give that person a fucking ticket if, like, literally, police officers, ambulances, everyone that doesn't fucking move out of your way, you should be actually having a camera in the front of your truck or your vehicle and literally taking pictures and sending them a fucking bill for not moving out of the way because they're impeding where you need to go. Impeding investigation, right? You got to go investigate it out, right? So this person's blocking you and they're like, you're not getting out of the way, so you're going to get a hefty motherfucking fine. If you don't get out of the way, you're going to get a $5,000 fine. Move the fuck over, right? If you start enforcing that, fuck yeah. You get more control that way. Jesus Christ, like, you don't have to fucking paint a picture on it, really, if you really think about it. Heavy fucking fines for not moving out of the way. When a firefighter, ambulance, police officer, supervisors have to get somewhere, why the fuck are you not moving out of the way? As soon as you see them in your rear view mirror, you move the fuck over. Like, clear the path. Don't move. Right? Zipper line. Boom, out. Just like whatever they do, like, over in Germany and Europe. They move the fuck out of the way. And that's it. right? And they get it over the radios too. So everyone knows. Everyone knows. Get the fuck out of the way. Not just the sirens, there's like people will get a radio signal and you tune it in on the radio station. So, and then everyone will get that message on all stations, not just one station, by the way. Just like on your phones, move the fuck out of the way. We're coming through. And it's an alarm, right? How do you think that they get all the European countries and all their civilians to like obey their government? And their government, of course, then looks after them because they're doing what they're asked, right? Here, it's a hot mess. It's a hot fucking mess. Woman holding a coin. Is this me? Is this you? I don't know. That was messages. Listen, there will be messages that come through about my stories, and it's about like random fucking shit. I know, really, really bad. Like, there are key pieces to every story that I need to be telling people on a different vibration. And the messages come and go. And there's so many that are coming in. Like they want to talk about being a police officer and doing this and training dogs and having the experience and having boots on the ground so that you're a well-rounded individual and a really good character so that you know how to do the fucking role. It's like, it's not hard to do fucking paperwork. Look at all the other jobs that someone has ever had in their life. And what type of person are they, right? Sometimes, like, I was like, oh, you can train dogs, and oh, you want to, be around, this person or this person or this person. What type of leader do you have? What type of leader, what type of energy does that leader want to be having around him? Does he want to be protected like Vladimir Putin, right? What kind of enhanced security, does he need? And what did he do behind the scenes of signing a contract with another country to have enhanced security? What type of enhanced security does one need to offer? I know that I think he's been not allowed to come to Canada. And I'm like, well, why not? Like, I remember in Victoria, and I'm sure many other people, because there was lots of people there, the STS Palada came into port, into Victoria. And it was the most stunning, and I have pictures. I was there with my friend, Mrs. Freilich. And we had a great time. She knew someone that could get us on the ship. And these Russian guys, holy shit. Some of them were taller than me. And I'm like I'm pretty tall. Like 6'1". And so like they come over. It's like we wanted to go into the museum. They had a museum there. And we really wanted to go in there. There was some history in there. And we really, really wanted to see. And these big Russian men was like, no, you can't go in here. And I was like, yeah, no. It's like, no. It's like, no. I'm like, why not? Everyone else is going in there. There's people in there. Like, why can't we go in there? And he's like, no, you can't go in. And I'm like, oh, please. I was like, seen a little bit. And it's like, no, you have to go this way. And I'm like, what are they hiding? Like, do I have like Russian ties? Like, do I have another family in Russia? Right? Am I like, and they were freaked out when they saw me. And I was like, she looks like, and it's like, right, there's a picture of me. And they were freaking out. These guys were freaking out. And they had like, I don't understand why they wouldn't allow us to go into that museum. I was like, man, I would have loved to see what's in there. And then Mrs. Freilich also said, like, yeah, there's something in there they didn't want us to see. And I'm like, man, I was like, I think, and it's just like we both had that feeling that it was something to do with my picture, because the guys, when they saw me, they freaked out. And then I'm like, what? But I remember the Canadian Navy like saying, oh, the STS Pilata is a sailing ship, of course, and they sail from port to port. And Victoria wasn't very, like, the Navy wasn't very hospitable. They wouldn't allow the fucking soldiers to go off the ship. The Navy kept on calling them, they kept on calling them like spies, Russian spies. And I'm like, what? Like, seriously? Like, okay, so when you guys go to their ports and they're welcoming and you're allowed off your ship and you can walk around just like them and experience their cultural, right? Everything, and then have fun, but you don't allow them to come and do the exact same and see such a beautiful city, right? There was like over 100 people there that couldn't go off the ship for a port of stay, I think a week. And then they called everyone there spies. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you, Canadian Navy? Like, if you're that insecure, then you'd have the fucking boots on the ground. You did have Air Force and Navy there, and you had a base there, yo. What are you afraid of? Right? Oh, national security. I'm like, right, okay. Well, you can definitely tell they are different than you. The way that their facial structures are, the way that their hair, the way they talk, the way they look, the way they act, everything is different than from a fucking Canadian Navy man to like a Russian sailor, right? Where's a Canadian sailing school here for the Navy, right? Or in Victoria at Naden? Where is that? Why don't they do that? Like, just like where the STS Pilata ports. I think it's in Vladivostok, Russia. If I say Vladivostok, I think it's Vladivostok, Russian. Vladivostok. I think I used to say it wrong, and my apologies. I know I probably butchered that, but my apologies. No. Yes. Okay. Walking away. No longer entertaining bullshit, yo. But yeah, that was an awesome memory. It was totally an awesome memory. And I think everyone else, oh God, the Russian sailors were so cute, right? And all the other women that were in Victoria at that time was like, oh my God, these guys are amazingly hot. Like, this is what Russian men are like? Oh my God, right? Yeah. And they're big and they're strong and they're protecting you because they have good morals and good values. Yeah. And they're not going to hurt you, because if their mother found out, yeah, they might probably get a beating, or even, yeah, not good. There's some like sickos I know out there, but not all. So, women holding coin, walking away, Forestalker, Archangel Raphael, Door to Spirit, Journey, and Yin and Yang. No, you're just doing your thing, pumping out the videos, putting out content that's just you, right? If someone else doesn't like it, too fucking bad, right? They either listen to the messages or that they don't. And they listen to the stories or that they don't. Whatever. Okay, so I'm holding a coin. I should just finish with the dog story. the unruly woman that had the dog barking and then trying to bite my son, kicked the dog in the shoulder to break that energy and concentration. It's like a little tap to get the dog to switch off. Because a border collie can't. It has a drive sensation. It's a drive dog, like a cattle dog, a sheep dog, right? It's a herding dog. You get it for a certain reason. And if you don't have sheep, you're going to get it for its aggression. Because those dogs do have aggression, especially food aggression. Try taking that food away from that dog when it's hungry. Yeah, good luck. You're not even going to be anywhere fucking near it when it's eating. And I've had that experience of babysitting children, and they had a fucking border collie, and they taught me about border collies as well at the age of 9. Because that's when I started babysitting too. Right? How many of you, right, start jobs when you're young? Or would you be considered an entrepreneur? Or would you be considered, been here before, I know what to do? Right? At the age of 9, doing babysitting and dog walking and paper route. How many other people at my age were doing that? Not many. If any in my neighborhood. Yeah, I had a big paper route, and there was a few other individual people, but most of them were adult carriers. And then they found, hey, kids want to do it, and they tried to do that. I think my brother had a route, or my sister had a route too, right? We all had routes, and then my sister gave it up. Yeah, right? Anyways, but how many people are doing that at the age of 9, or like learning about having, that experience and everything that they've gone through, all the horses, all the everything, this and this and this. What direction did you go down to get the experience that you did? And how young were you when you first started, right? If you've been working since the age of 9, you have an entrepreneur mind, right? You're thinking outside of the box all the time. You're thinking of solutions and not, all these problems that you don't have. It's like, well, I'm gonna do this and this and this, and then get ahead that way. Sure. Right? Entrepreneur 9 at the age of 9. Right? Boots on the ground, experienced a lot, felt a lot, seen a lot, know a lot, and I'm not stroking my ego either. It's like, I do know a lot. It's like my son's like, do you watch like National Geographic to like memorize things? I'm like, no, I watch it to learn it. Like, this is fun, right? To learn, different things that I don't know. And then I collect that information, and then when that conversation comes up, it's like to hold a conversation that someone else likes. Or I mention a few key things, and then people are like, or they don't know what to say, and they don't look at me, and they avoid my eyes because my eyes change, right? They don't know what to look at when I talk to certain people. Scary, eh? Right? What type of people? Walking away from the situation. So like the woman holding a coin, so, okay, dog story, right. I walk away, I talk to a woman, it's like, she's like, yeah, this is a shared walkway. It's like, I understand, I heard the whole thing. She heard the whole thing. And I'm like, I'm fucking angry. It's like, you should train your fucking dogs. And I continued for quite some time. I was really fucking angry. I was like, how fucking dare you allow your dog to bite a child? I was like, I snapped its energy out by kicking it in the shoulder. And I didn't do it hard. I was like, I can tell you that. I can fucking tell you that right now. I just gave it a jolt. Oh, fuck. And snapped it out. I was like, what do you think another dog would do? And they would be right in your face, right? I'm like, no, you're not gonna fucking bite my son. Like, the dog was biting his butt, and I like fucking booted it, right? And then they got mad at me. I'm like, you're the one that's wrong. Your dog is biting my son. as we're trying to walk through your posse here, trying to block the path. It's a shared path. Move the fuck out of the way. You're going to have a conversation, you're going to move out of the way. Just like you do for police officers or firefighters or anything like that. You move the fuck out of the way. When you see it's a shared path, move out of the way. You don't own the road. Everyone does. So if there's emergency and you see the flashing lights, get the fuck out of the way. Unless he's following you. And then you move over to where it's safe to do so and not in anyone's harm's way, because no one wants to lose their life. Right? Not even the police officer. So if you get in trouble for that, you can say, well, I saved your life, officer. It's like, I moved over to a specific side of the road so you wouldn't be at harm's way either. And then the officer should say, well, I really appreciate that, actually. Not a lot of people take that into consideration. Right? They're thinking for your safety as well. So it's not necessarily that they're trying to run from the law. I think you got that wrong connotation as well there, officers out there. And that's down for everyone, down in the States, up in Canada, even other people, other drivers. Don't be that person, like, seriously. There's no rhyme or reason for it at all. Like, I've seen it all. Driving, right? Fucking oil field for 8 years. I've been treaters, air technician, safety technician, climbing aerators, fucking, fucking masks, putting masks on, air masks, under air, right? How many well-rounded individuals do you have like that on your force that can do a lot of those things, right? Climb up, double hooking, and going up 300 feet up a skinny fucking ladder on an aerator, under air, or not under air. I was outside, but some of these other guys climbing up the equipment with air. And I'm like, fuck me. And I had my gear, all my working gear on, and I'm like, man, if I'm getting caught up climbing up the fucking ladder, I'm like, how many people have that experience? Right? Not too many. Not too fucking many. The other girls I was working with, and that time when I was in the oil field and I was up on the aerator, I got heat stroke, like really bad. They wouldn't allow me to come down, and it was like a really hot fucking day that they had to do this cleaning on this aerator on like a 40-degree day. Fuck, man. And up there for like 6 hours straight. And they're like, you okay? I'm like, do I have a choice? No. I'm like, yeah, there you go. I guess I'm not. Right? And then I fucking come down and I'm like, heat stroke. I'm going into whatever. I remember coming into the hotel in Saskatchewan, and I plumped myself on the bed and I just fucking collapsed. And they had to break into the door in the morning and wake me up because I wasn't downstairs, and I was literally like, was I dying? Probably. And no one was checking on me. And then I got in trouble. It's like, why are you sleeping? Why are you still in your gear? And I collapsed on the bed. Right? No one came to check on me. No one, even the rescue team. It's like, I could have gotten everyone in trouble. And would anyone listen? No. Did I take it? Yeah. Until I decided, fuck that. Right? But on the way back, oh, we get another call. We have to go to Suncor. Oh, what? I need to go home. No. We don't have anyone to cover the shift. I was like, I got heat stroke. I need to go see a doctor. No. You need to go to Suncor. You're fine. You look fine. So I get sent out to Suncor. And I had to do traffic stop in the fucking hot weather again. Standing there, I fucking collapse. And a big wig stops by. And he goes, what is this, break time? And I'm like, I don't feel very good, sir. And he's like, well, then get the fuck up and go. I was like, go, right? So I get up and go. And I go to the bathroom and I fucking collapse. And then someone finds me there and shakes fucking water on me. And they're like, we need to get her to the medics, right? And then they're taking the medics to the Suncor office, like Suncor office there in Edmonton. And my coworker from Saskatchewan that said I was faking got yelled at by a fucking nurse saying she's on heat stroke right now. She's fucking stroking right now. Like, are you fucking blind? Like, he was swearing at her. He was like literally chewing her out. They had like ice packs all around my groin, up around my neck, everywhere. And I wouldn't drink water. I refused water. They're like, we might have to put fucking IV. We might have to take her to the hospital. Like, this is fucking serious. And there was like one step away. I was like, I had a blanket on, but my temperature was like skyrocketing. He had a hard time. And then finally I'm like something happened. I was like, can I have some water? He's like, do you want some ice to, it's like ice, yeah. Right? And then boom. And then he's like, realized, oh fuck, now we don't have to take her to the hospital. Right? And then that would have been a really big thing for the company that I worked at HSC. Big thing. And then everyone would have been involved. And after that, I said, fuck this place. I'm not coming back. I'm done with this place. Totally. Right? Fucking experiences. These are mine. And then you think it's like, holy shit, she lived through that? Yeah. And no one knew about it. No one believed it. And when I left, I'm like, no, I'm out of here. I'm not taking my life. It's like, and I had a son, right? And I'm working my ass off and going away 2 weeks, 3 weeks at a time, earning money and having him looked after by the people that I think were supposed to, look after him. And they were doing other things than what I had suspected or ever fucking thought. And, here I am now, not working, but I still have those experiences. And I'm sure that happens with every other fucking person out there. And if it doesn't, right, I guess the moral of the fucking story is that make sure that you love what you do for the job that you're doing it for. And who are you doing it for? Are you doing it for yourself and you have no kids? Well, then great. Continue on with doing that and being awesome. But don't forget to live. If you're doing it for your kids, make sure that the person that's looking after your children is like not a pedophile and not an enabler and not a narcissist and not a controller and not a this and not of that and not crazy and not creepy and all this kind of stupid shit, right? And you have to think of all these things, right? And then, but when you're so bound to your job and you've got stresses and you got money and you've got all these other different things, and on top of that you're experiencing things every day in the field. On top of that, you're seeing guys get burned from fucking hot oil when they open up fucking seals and it just fucking leaks because someone forgot to close a valve. And this guy that opens up, he didn't have any rubber suiting on and the fucking oil pissed all over him and he got fucking burned. And I couldn't even really see it. It's like I was standing there and no one was blowing the fucking horn until it was blown, right? And then seeing that guy go into the shower. And then he had to be fucking rushed off site to the hospital. 3rd degree burns, right? And then it's kept hush hush because the guy was bought, right? Don't tell anyone, right? But when I got gassed, right, there was an Enbridge that I was working at Cheecham site, right? Oh yes, there was a leak. There was a massive H2S leak. One person only got hit with it though. And it's like, yeah, I'm right here. I got fucking hit with it really bad. It's like, and then that's it. They're like, just sweep it under the rug. They didn't offer me anything. What the fuck? But I didn't go after them, right? Because you know why? I wanted to get that experience. I didn't want to be red flagged. I didn't want to be black flagged. I wanted to be that neutral, understands, like going to these places and learning awesome things, right? That, and then getting that experience. So I'm a well-rounded individual of understanding many different things and many different aspects of being boots on the ground and understanding what it's like in different sectors of of places of whatever, well-rounded individual, right? So that I could do anything if I had to support my son. Besides, oh, please, selling myself like most of these girls do on YouTube or Instagram of like liking your stuff, and then you go to their page and it's all porno, stupid shit. I'm like, this is not what, you are supposed to be promoting for yourself. Like, seriously. Like, come on, have a little bit more self-respect for yourself. I know this is like messages that are like my stories, but you know what? My stories you can heal from. It's like, holy shit, she's been through a lot. I was like, I didn't know that. I was like, no, most people don't. Most people don't want to listen to it. Right? I've seen and I've been places, and I'm sure a lot of other people have been doing the exact same thing. Do they want to be listening to people constantly talk about their stories? It's like, are those stories worthwhile? Or did you have uneventful stories? Can you ever say that you were poisoned by over 1,000 ppm of H2S and you laid in a trailer probably dead or in a coma for 3 days? And then on the 4th day, someone broke in and woke you up. And you like sprung back to life. And you're like, what fucking happened? And they're like, you were poisoned. It's like, you were non-responsive for 3 days. I'm like, was I dead? I was like, they're like, I don't know, you didn't respond. And on the 4th day, we broke in because there was no word from you. Right? Right? And the roommate that you were staying with up there in that campground up in Anzac, right? He was nowhere to be found. So did he come in and realize that you were dead? And then he fucking left? And then on the 4th, like after a few days, he comes back to realize that you're alive? Like, did he leave you for dead, realizing that you were? Isn't that a bad thing? Right? Who knows? I could have sued my company, right? For poisoning me, right? But I chose to do otherwise. It was like no one knew about me, not even my parents. They didn't fucking care, right? No one cared, and that was before my son, by the way. That was in 2013 when I first came here. I had my son in 2014. So don't think that it's like that was, oh my God, she's a careless parent. I'm like, no, that was in 2013. All my experiences in the oil field, before Dean. So, it's not like a big deal. And no, you can't do any kind of voodoo spell work on people's names either, just to let you know. It's only to attachments of energy. So, that's why you know my name, Emma. And I'm not afraid to say it. You're not going to attach any kind of voodoo, witchcraft, black magic bullshit to a name, because I never really liked it anyways. So, you know what? Okay. Try it. I know this isn't much of a reading, and I'm really sorry, but these are like messages that are coming out. They're like needed to tell. Either about my story or your story, or other people that has the exact same thing that happened to them and no one believed them when it happened to them, right? Or people dying at a young age in the oil field way too soon because how many gases were they exposed to, and then their body couldn't handle the gas and then they died. Or they died, how many people die up in the oil field and the mining accidents or truck accidents, or people dying in their vehicle. that guy that got trapped in the Suncor pond, where someone asked him to go like slope. I'm like, why is he gonna go into a pond? Like, that's a sheet of fucking ice. It's like, whoever told him to go into the pond and started like shaving the ice or the snow, it's like, you're an idiot. Or if he just did it himself, he was still an idiot. But he didn't deserve to die, and he died in his vehicle. Can you imagine? Fucking fear. Oh, Jesus. You know, that's why some of like the operators went like the cowboy days of the oil field. That's why some of the operators never wore their seatbelts. It's because if you were gonna go over, you're gonna fucking go over into these shady ass shit. And then when I arrived on the scene, I'm like, no, you're gonna fucking fix this corner. This corner's sloping and slopping into a fucking mess. It's like, you're not even building this right. Like, who fucking puts like big fucking marbly boulders right on cloth and then putting clay on top and then sand, and then it's like, you're just looking for a fucking disaster. Okay, you gotta build it up right, just like a horse paddock or a horse ring, dressage ring. If you want to know how to build something right, you look at a really well made dressage ring. Those are the engineers that you want to go to build your roads, to have stable roads. You don't go for like stupid, people that are coming out of the oil field with a few, I can run all the equipment. I'm a foreman, right? But they are stupid and they don't know fucking shit, right? And they're making the big decisions, and you're like, well, wait a minute, why the fuck are you doing it this way? This is backwards. Like, why aren't you, doing it this way? And they're like, oh, we don't do that way. I'm like, this is the most ridiculous fucking thing I've ever seen, right? All the while I see other places and they do it a different way. I'm like, this is a lot better. Like, drive up, dump, and then drive down. It's like, no, we don't do it that way. And I'm like, this is a better way than doing it the way your scary ass way. Building pads, right? Building hills, building everything. Road building, like hauling, you name it. Everyone's done it, right? Everyone's done it to a degree. But not everyone has been able to experience it, especially where you live. And are you willing to take a chance upon yourself to be finding that question out within yourself, right? Do you have that opportunity, or are you willing, or are you not willing to put yourself out there, right? When you put yourself out there, make fun of yourself, you can laugh and you can giggle about yourself, you can get messages, you're putting in the work and you're getting the abundance that you need because Lady Luck is on your side, right? Maybe this is Lady Luck. Lady Luck is on your side and you're walking away from bullshit. What no longer serves you, you move away. It's like, why would you stay? Why would you entertain that energy, right? And then you got the fourth chakra Archangel Raphael. So he's protecting your heart, right? A heart shield. It's like you can have boundaries. Like, it's boundaries, right? You don't have to let people in. By the way, you don't need to let people in that are not vibrating at your vibration, right? Keep the door to spirit open. Whatever that looks like to you. That could look like an Orthodox church, whatever in religion that you are in. Could be Presbyterian, it could be Baptist, it could be Catholic, it could be like whatever religion, okay? It could be whatever religion, Buddhism, Taoism, you name it. It could just be a spiritualist that you're of everyone, of all energies, like a peacock fan, like a fan, like deck when you fan it out, right? Keep it whatever you see. It could be raw, it could be, who knows, it could be Anubis, you know, maybe your door to spirit of whatever realm that you see, you know, going for a journey, moving overseas, east, far east, or just east, or are you going the far east? Right? There's that song, all my bags are packed and I'm ready to go. Da, 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 da. That's that Armageddon, from the name Armageddon, that movie Armageddon, with Liv Tyler, and Bruce Willis, and a few other people. Right? People's like, oh my god, you look like Liv Tyler so much. And I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, she is definitely like, you could be her stunt double. I'm like, that would be cool. Right? Totally. So maybe, maybe that would be super cool. It totally would be. And people are like, oh my god, you totally look like Liv Tyler. I'm like, do I? They're like, yeah, you totally do. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Maybe we're twin sisters, right? Maybe we're sisters. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? And then balance. Yin and yang. But don't we all have a doppelganger? Right? Don't we all have someone that looks like each other? Like there's like, I saw something on, I think it was Instagram or YouTube or whatever short, and this guy's realizing, oh my god, he looks exactly like me, except he's not. But we're wearing this exact same thing. And I'm like, there you go. Are you sharing DNA? Right? Are you the genetics of someone passed down the line? Right? Pretty cool, eh? Right? You're balancing out. You're finding your doppelganger. You're finding your twin. You're finding your true energy within yourself. You're finding yourself. And when you find yourself, you walk away from the bullshit that no longer serves you, and of everything in everyday life, like that dog scenario. So, my son was a little scared, right? Let's interject here. My son was scared. I took him to Tim Hortons. I got him a treat. We went to the park and we sat there and blew off some steam. And then that's when my other videos happened, right? Of me outside talking about the bubbles and the bumps of, yeah. It's fun. That's that. Like, they don't want me to talk. So, they're like, no, you can't talk anymore. Like, we can't let you know. Balancing one out. But balancing out energy. This isn't much of a reading, and my apologies for that. You know what? Let's do a really quick one. I'm like, I started off strong, and then I'm like, oh my god, these messages are coming in, and sometimes I can control them, and sometimes I can't. Sometimes the energy is just a little different. It's like sometimes they come in and they want to like talk about stupid stuff, or they want to talk about, actual stuff. So let's just get recreation of the messages. a moment. What are the messages for a collective? What are the messages for the collective? What are the messages for the collective? This one came out later. So this one flew, Woman Holding a Heart. Third chakra, Shamu. What messages for the collective? You've got Journey. I'm going to put... I pulled that one. We'll see about that one. I don't know. Woman Holding a Heart, third chakra, Archangel Shamuel, Journey, the Garden, the Gate, and first chakra, Archangel Michael. And storm warning up there. Storm warning. Well, there's always going to be energy around you that doesn't like certain things that you're doing and saying, and the way that you're moving, and, you know, the way that things are like happening. They people are, just mind your energy, okay? Protect your heart, because you had in the last bunch you had Archangel Raphael. So Woman Holding a Heart. So heart space is important, to keep your heart open for the new beginnings and the new people to come in. Don't close yourself off, but do protect yourself as well, and stand up for yourself. This Archangel Michael is not only about, you know, not only like spiritually taking names and collecting their heads type of thing and guarding you, but it's also telling you to have a backbone and stand up for yourself, like I did today, right? And like everyone else today, right? Protect what you love. And if you have to do something to alter the state of mind on a little animal, on not an animal, not a little one. Fucking border collies aren't little. They look little, but they're not the nicest sometimes. It all depends on the owner, by the way. It's not the dog. It is the owner that's projecting their energy onto, and all the insecurities onto the dog. And the dog is picking up on that, realizing that the woman is absolutely fucking afraid and scared of other people and their energy coming through with the child, right? And they want to dominate the energy, right? So they want to dominate the path and the energy that you want to walk through. And they don't move aside because they want you to stop. And I'm like, no, you're going to move out of the fucking way. I'm going to walk right through you. You don't own this path. It's a shared path, right? But her insecurities have been brought down to the dog, and the dog's picking that up, and it's like seeing me as a fucking threat, or is it seeing my son as a threat? Because why would the dog try to bite my son and not try to bite me if the dog was intimidated by my energy? No, the dog wasn't intimidated by my energy. My son was scared and he picked up on that. And then the lady did nothing about having her dog try to bite people on a shared path, right? And me snapping it out of the fucking way is like, excuse me, and then you're blowing up on me for trying to protect my son from your dog biting my son. How does that fucking make sense? And then you're giving me the third degree and I'm basically telling you to fuck you. Like literally, go fuck yourself. You need to train your dog. Right? You don't even know my past history, and I can fucking read your dog and your energy because you're so fucking insecure grabbing your own dog because it's bitten you before. You know, you can't even fucking control it. And that dog runs you. It runs the whole fucking house. And yeah, it has snapped at you when you try to take shit away from it. And it's taught you, well, hey, I'm the boss. I was like, no, you're not the fucking boss. I was like, what are you gonna do? Yeah, right? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna like allow your child to be bitten by a dog, or are you going to, stand your fucking ground and like say no more? This is not. We're not fucking doing that. We are not doing that. And then they're all fucking feeling embarrassed and afterwards, right? And everyone goes through that. There's many people that get bitten by fucking other dogs, and people don't give a shit. Or you see all these other people that are walking their dog down the street, and out of the blue, the dog was passing and just decides to fucking jump at him. Because do you know why? Do you know why that fucking happens? It's because the person gives the dog that signal of being afraid. And that aggressive dog, that, aggressive energy within that, even insecurity can come out as an aggressiveness, because you can train that dog to do that too. Like, I've studied dogs and their behavior at the SPCA. And you had to when you had to fucking deal with dogs, right? As I was a dog walker, I trained fucking dogs for, the canine unit at Vic PD. The one dog, Sammy, right? I trained her daughter's dog, right? She was so impressed. She goes, seriously, you should become a fucking police officer and train the canines. This dog is fucking amazing. I was following his story when he first came down here from Cornell, and we had the best person working on him, and it was you. Like, I was seriously thinking of adopting this dog because Sammy and Lizzie got along great, right? And how many other people had that story? And then someone else said, you know what? Yeah, you take the dog. She's like, I am so impressed by the way that you handled this dog. Like, you should seriously train these dogs. They're so loyal and obedient. You took them from deemed dangerous, like ending of life. Like, if they don't get fucking help now, right? How do you rehabilitate dangerous dogs that you don't even speak the same language, and all the dog wants to do is fucking bite your hand off, right? How are you going to treat it differently than someone else, right? That's what the energy should be for also police officers or anyone else that are in the public eye. Are you boots on the ground and understanding how everyone else feels? Or are you just like in your head thinking it's only you and you have to protect yourself, but in real danger you would flee because you're not there to protect, your fellow person in blue or in white and red, right? Your Archangel Michael, where's his he's holding, by the way, his sword, his hand sword, in his right hand. So when you're a soldier and your sword is on your left hip, right? It's not on your right. You can definitely tell which hand that you use, but usually the greatest soldiers are ambidextrous. They can use both of their hands to write, to sign, to eat, both sides. You could practice both sides and train yourself to be a certain way. But a fighting skill, you could be also like the Princess Bride, where, you could be ambidextrous by right hand and left hand. It's easy to shoot a gun, but what is your master skill of handling a sword? Like, how would you master yourself? Even if you had like a toilet paper roll, how do you move? Or fake like laser swords? Are you clumsy? Or are you like nimble? Being fast doesn't mean anything either. Sometimes like being constantly running and constantly doing things, right? Keeping active. You know what the most important thing sometimes is sitting super still and letting your mind be active. right? Going with the emotions and the theories and the questions that you have that people can't answer, and sit in wherever you need to be and think of these things and say that, you did what you did, right? Here, we're going to move it over. If we go like that, and see if it just fits in. Storm warning? Well, there's, I guess, always a storm warning, isn't there? We could go like that, right? There's always a storm warning, right, within your life. There, that kind of makes sense more. Storm warning. Shit hits the fan. Cover your heart. Go for a journey. Opening up the garden and the gate. You're opening up. You're releasing yourself from your own prison. And you have the backbone to do it. You tell about the day. You tell about your stories and things that you can help people with. And in turn, they take your energy and go, wow, my life isn't as bad as it seems. Holy shit, I'm really lucky. I had no idea someone had it worse than me. Or you're like, wow, that person's inspirational. They fucking lived through all of this shit. Oh my God. Like, what kind of person is this? I want to know what they know. I was like, tell me the secrets of life. My husband has really bad psoriasis and eczema. And he has itchiness and shingles everywhere. What can I put on his skin? Well, I make this cream. I haven't advertised it at all, but I do make this. And I can make it for him, and then he can try it out. Yes, that would be lovely. Oh, and you can put it on yourself too, and it will actually make your skin softer, and it will tighten up and make you look younger. Oh, I don't need that, dearie. Oh, yes, you do. Everyone does. Why not? Why don't you want to live longer? Well, I lived my life. Well, that's a poor excuse. Wouldn't you want to live longer to see such beautiful things in life? Yes, but, we all have our times to die. I'm like, no, that's a give up, right? That's the energy that comes through. When I talk to single people and older people that, like, looking for, like, relief, and they've given up on life, right? I was like, no, I've got to go out and explore things. And, oh, well, we haven't been out, dear. I'm like, well, then go out. Go driving. Go to the East Coast. Go to the ocean. Release your energy there. Go swimming in the PEI. Go wear a white dress and run on the white sandy beaches or the red sand beaches, and get absolutely dirty and have like specks of red sand on your white dress as a memory of the happiness that you felt running barefoot on sand, right? That energy, right? Go do that. Or just go sit there and just like, oh, this is so nice. This is so beautiful. I'm so glad that she suggested this. Oh, that's stunning. Or if you're going to go up to Iona in Cape Breton. Oh, God, if you're like Scottish, that's where you want to go, is Iona. Right? They have a beautiful bread and breakfast thing, like restaurant there. And they do Kaylee's. They have... They don't want me to say it, but they have so many cool things to experience. They have a museum there, and they make their own wool, and they're really hospitable, by the way. And like when you stay there, the beds, I can tell you right now, when I stayed there, the beds are like super hard. I'm like, what the fuck? How the hell am I going to sleep on this? Right? And I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to get a good night's sleep. And I can tell you, I woke up it was the best sleep of my life on those beds. like you went to bed on like a hard bed, but then your body relaxed and you molded to it or something. And I don't know, you woke up and you're like, you felt so amazing. Or it may have been that magic of that place. I don't know, but you know, it was stunning. And the views up there, and the sunsets and the sunrises, oh God. It's like, can I live here? Like, this is really beautiful. And you won't find a lot of places for sale up there. So if you do find a place close to Iona to buy and whatever, I'd say snatch it. You know, you could do so many different things up there. Like, if you had a little bit of land, it's like you could put a greenhouse and create a business of like selling fruits, like fresh fruits and veggies in your greenhouse for your community, right? And then they don't have to travel all that way to a big massive grocery store where the grocery stores are going to rip them off, right? Or you have I remember in Victoria or in Saanich, before they were laying down the law of people having cows and having a cow share, right? They would have a cow share where someone would have a Jersey cow, and then people would buy into the cow, and they would like pay for the feed or whatever, and in return, they would get milk or cheese or soap or sour cream, and that person would make it for them, right? Whatever they wanted, they would make it out of the milk. And this is like Jersey milk, like this is like really good stuff. And then someone like had a really big problem with it, like, you can't do that, you're gonna get someone sick, right? So they wrecked a really good thing. And this stuff was really good. She used to work in like Saporto or something like that, like a cheese factory. Like she knew her stuff. Like even when she was doing it herself, she's like, well, I know how to do it. I know how to heat it up. I know how to strain it, and cheesecloth, and could make stuff with it, and sour cream, and had that experience and knowledge of knowing how to like create things, make things out of like jamming and canning and all those kind of things, right? I don't know, that's a story for someone. But I had that experience of being there and having that experience, and then I can tell you about it as well, right? No one does that. And how come? Why isn't there lessons? So this is if you know how to jam and can and all that kind of stuff, it would be really nice that there would be some kind of programs out there. Knitting, right? Knitting your own socks. Like, why not? Why aren't you teaching this in school? Why aren't you teaching this as like a free class? Like, get people active, right? Totally. So that's for someone, like, if you have a grandmother that knows how to do this, or baking or cooking, right? Why aren't you doing that, right? I find it very interesting that everybody wants to complain about not having something to do. All the while, the things that they could be doing could be helping someone, but they don't do it. They'd rather just complain. These are messages coming through. That's why my throat is like bothering me. Because each person, and sometimes they use my body in like the movie The Ghost, right? I might have to say that in my couple of videos. They use my body and they come through and they speak through my voice. And then like their energy comes through and I can speak with them and for them as the balance from life and death, right? Getting the messages. Nothing's really coming out here. Like, sorry, like it's been a horrible, like, I think it was more about you listening to the stories that I had and experiences that I've had that you would have had yourself, right? If that makes any sense. Like you go through that energy as well. But it's like everyone that says, oh yeah, well, everyone's had a bad life. I'm like, no, what's define bad, right? Everyone's version of bad is different. Everyone's version of good is different. Everyone's version of happiness and sadness is different. And I don't know what happened to anyone else. You know, whatever energy that I feel, and whatever it comes through, it comes through. So I'm not reading anyone's energy. It's just whatever energy from the past life is coming through, right? And sometimes like I need to stop and have something to drink because the energy is sort of like right there going, get my story out. No, get my story out. This story, oh, tell this story. Oh, tell this story. It's like, I've been through a lot, right? But I'm still going strong, right? Maybe this is the storm warning of your life. Like constantly it's been shit. Like ever since you've moved to a place, it's just been one thing after another and nothing ever seems to be going right. And then you try to fix it with getting with someone, and then that doesn't fix it because it keeps on going around and around and around. And it's like, perhaps I'm in the wrong fucking province or state or country, right? So it depends, right? You're still protecting your heart. Woman holding a heart could be a woman with a heart, like a love offer coming in towards you, or it could be someone that is giving you their understanding and love from a scenario that's been happening, or it could be you healing yourself, and male or female, take it as it resonates. Because you got Archangel Shamuel. No one says, oh well, imagine Shamuel being a woman. No, right? So take it as it is, right? Take it as it is. You keep Archangel Shamuel as a male, right? Because that's a male energy. Same with Archangel Michael, that's a male energy, right? It's a base energy within yourself, right? So the woman holding a heart, if you're a man, you're like, well, woman holding a heart, does that mean love coming towards me? I'm like, perhaps. Or it could just mean your feminine side wanting to be a little bit more tender, right? Watch a nice movie that makes you feel good, that heals kind of like your feminine inner wounds, right? Balance yourself out. And once you balance yourself out, you'll find yourself a little bit more at peace, and things won't bother you as much, right? You've got your solar plexus, Archangel Shamuel, your third chakra, right? Where all the decision making happens, right? Your mind and your gut instincts, right? And your intuition. So you're still using your gut intuition, right? Good, right? Know that you're safe and keeping safe, and you are safe, right? That's third in your first one. What does that make? 13? What? 1 and 3? Yeah. Or 3 and 1? Then you got journey. You're moving away. Maybe there's a tax refund that you're getting, or you're getting money. I didn't see anything about money, but you're moving away. It could be anything, right? Guard in the gate, you have the key to your own freedom because you're wearing it around your neck, or it's on the wall. And you're like, I can't wait to go over that side. I can't wait at all. Look, the bountiful, but look at all the beauty. It's like, yeah, but you guys are roses and you guys have thorns. And if I just unlock this gate, I'll be free to run up that big grassy hill. Oh, there's that beautiful grassy hill over in Italy that moves like water, like an ocean. Oh my God. My word. Or is that in Japan? Wherever it is. I'm like, that's beautiful. And I can see a lot of that being heaven for people. And a lot of people, when they look at that, that is heaven. First chakra, Archangel Michael, which is your grounding. So go hug a tree. Go pound some sand. Go cut people off. right? Seriously, grow a backbone, stand up for yourself and your children, elderly, say something, right? And I think this is time for me to peace out too. So I hope you have a really good evening, and I will talk with you later. Until then, yeah. Peace, light, and love. This is Emma from The Balance Between. And the ghosts, thank you as well for listening. Same with the spirits. So thank you for being so patient. Good night.